Welcome to Nintendo Voice, your voice for everything Nintendo. This is episode 95, recorded on the 7th of June, 2017. My name's Lewis Pugh, and joining me to talk Nintendo, we have Harrison Milfeld.
Hello, everyone.
And, of course, Colin Crompton.
Hello. Hopefully sticking around.
Indeed. And today, we've got a big show. We've got some quite interesting news. We've had a new Direct today. And we've got some more developments on Nintendo's online platform for Switch. And maybe even more importantly in my mind at least, is we have our personal E3 predictions to go through. And we're going to cover the normal sort of stuff, but we're going to also go into some super specific prediction from each of us. See how crazy we can go, see how wrong or right we can get. And, of course, we are only a week away from E3.
I know. That just feels so surreal to me at this point right now. It's just like, for a while, it just seemed like yesterday I was like, oh, it's 3 weeks away. And now I'm like, we're getting close.
It's come by so quickly. It's really scary, actually. Time flies.
Yeah, I think it's worked out quite well with the Switch releasing in March and not the end of last year, is it sort of thing? It's been between the launch of the system and its first E3.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots to go through. But let's start with a little bit of what we've been playing. And Harrison mentioned before the show that he managed to jump into some arms on the test punch.
I see what you're saying. I jumped into someone's arms, you're saying. I don't know. But I did.
He was embraced by the arms. Or was he? Let's find out. I certainly was.
I know. I know we got with this a huge E3 show going, but we just got to talk a little bit about ARMS more right now, and I'm getting at least a more hang of this so far. It's just, like I've said, whatever to me, it's definitely to this point where I'm probably going to be making a purchase on this, but I wanted to talk about Twintel and how she controlled, and I think up with her and maybe Ninjara, I think are probably going to be a couple of characters I'm going to main a lot, and I don't know. To me, I felt a little bit more comfortable with her, just reason-wise. I guess it wasn't probably the fact that she moved a little bit better, or it was the fact that this was my third time on the test punch, where I'm actually getting used to the controls. So, like I said, I was just balancing between whether hey, not just straightforward punches, but trying to maneuver and how to use dodges and how to get basically curve my punches a little bit right. And I actually did really, really well as far as matches wise. There was quite a few quick ones that kind of just came down to the wire. But also for this past week, people were, if you're playing for those who are online, were thrown into a random boss battle, and that itself was a little bit fun. But
that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it too. And as far as more deeply into it, it just it really does. I'm enjoying basically how far right now we're getting a lot of these multiplayer focused games from Nintendo so far, between Splatoon 2 and this, and to an extent you can count Ultra Street Fighter 2, the new challengers, despite its mixed reviews so far, mostly I believe just coming from whether it's the online was not ready or it's just an overpriced game.
Yeah.
And but as far as ARMS, I'm just becoming a little bit more comfortable right now with the play style. And like I said last week, I'm hoping there's at least more depth to this. I want to see what this I really wish we got a chance to have a little taste of the I believe they have it out there called a Grand Prix. And I just don't want to be an experience where I have with Mario Kart, where I finish just all the few cups, and I finish whether 100cc, 150cc, and then it's all I have is multiplayer, and then whenever friends come over, I want something deep for this. And
you want longevity.
Yes, more replay value when I'm alone at the house, which I don't know. But that's me right there. But you, Lewis, mentioned to me pre-show that you did not play as Twintel in the second round of the test punch.
I didn't know. Again, like the first set of test punches, I played it almost entirely with a friend, which is cool in itself. I'm glad you got to do that. I don't know if there's many online betas, which essentially what this is, which allow you and a friend on the same system to jump in and test it out. They tried Twintail for a single match, and I don't think it was pure. It was, because Twintail was a bad character or anything like that. That it was only the one match. But I think so used to like having the same character to go back to, especially because it's such a small period of time you get to play the game for, that we both immediately jump back to what were our mains, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
Just because we got so comfortable with them, and to be fair, we got quite good with them. And especially when the game would pair us both up against other people in the same room, obviously we had the advantage of, voice chat, essentially, room chat. Whereas the other components may not have. But that combined with characters we were familiar with, we did actually really quite well. We got a triple digit score at one point. One thing I wanted to mention though is they did shuffle some of the things up for this. So they had hoops instead of the volleyball. And a surprise, at least to me, is you mentioned they had the boss mode. So was it, I can't remember his name, was it Headlock? Something like that.
Wait. Headlock? Yeah. I'm being confused here. What this is?
The boss mode, essentially, where you've got the guy with the two arms on a head.
Okay.
He's on that wasn't advertised, I believe, as something which would be part of this test punch. Mm-hmm. All I heard was, they were swapping out the volleyball with hoops, and there's also the target mode they're going to be included. Oh, that's cool. That'll be refreshing. And they did have both of those, but they also had this mode where you team up against this boss character, the three of you against him, and they were really challenging. And it was also interesting that he had a level. And in the test punch, I saw him at level 3, level 4, and level 5. So right. I'm wondering if in the full game, does that scale a lot more? Will you be fighting a level 10 version of him eventually?
Yeah, I wonder what the reward is for beating those higher levels. I mean, it's just points. What's the system?
And so that might be something which helps with longevity.
Yeah,
because if that could be
although
almost automated.
Yeah, but so that turns out to be the only boss you fight on a recurring. Yeah, it will get a little tedious. True,
but the interesting thing about him, he's it wasn't so obvious because you saw a snippet of him on not the initial, but the trailer for Arms, which was in the Big Arms Direct.
Yeah.
And you couldn't quite tell, but basically he's this big robot head with these 4 arms coming out, but he attaches himself onto another Arms character.
Mm-hmm.
And so they got 6 arms altogether. But because of that, they have the same play style characters, but they've got 6 arms of, which could be anything. And so the setup for that boss character can be vastly different regardless of the level, depending on what 6 arms he's got equipped and how strong he is, and obviously what help you're getting with your teammates. So they were really fun to play. The other thing I wanted to mention is I managed to get 2 full playthroughs, and I only had 1 game of hoops, and it was the last game of the second one I got in.
Okay.
Played more hoops. Did you get into a hoops game?
I got killed in hoops, my first and only game.
Okay.
I assumed I was going to it was going to end in a draw, but I got grabbed even at the last possible second and just dunked on. So, yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, I can't remember how well I did. Probably not that well. I only had the 1 game. Be a good one to play more in the full thing. It seemed all right though. But yeah, I'm still feeling positive about Arms. What a surprise. But yeah, I didn't actually play as Twintail. I've obviously fought a few Twintails, and apparently Twintail and Ninjara, I think, were the most popular characters this time round. But yeah, I'm still maining Min, and that's doing well for me so far.
Yeah, all I ever hear at Arms is Twintail is the best character to play as. What is the appeal of Twintail?
Well, if you do a Google image search,
I don't know.
You will find out.
I have seen images, and I'm okay, she has a certain appeal, but
I think that is the appeal.
Really?
But then again,
I mean,
I've not played as a character, so who
well,
am I to say?
if one joke I could probably hear about the whole game, whatever, when she was first revealed, it's like, wow, I can't wait to actually play Nintendo's like waifu fighters. I was like, okay, there you go. I don't know.
There it is.
Surely
Yeah.
it's the upcoming
But no, I think
Fire
it has
Emblem
to.
Warriors.
Well, no, I think it really has to do. One thing I really like about this is that it's a varied bit of it's a varied collection of characters from and you were going to get more free on, and how this is from different backgrounds. It seems like. I mean, you have, and I like how it's appreciated that there's a lot of female characters in this one. So knowing with like Twintel and even Min Min, and probably even later on with more characters coming in, it is Nintendo just kind of breaching out a little bit more and diversifying a fighter lineup. That I think is a good appeal to myself, right there. Not myself, but to just the game itself.
No, I agree. It's a good mix. I mean, to be fair, I mean, in a lot of fighting games, you don't have that balance between like male and female fighters. It is usually
generally not.
Even if there are a fair few female characters, usually most of them are the male. But yeah, it seems ARMS. I have not counted, but it seems it's a pretty even split. If not, I think it's fairly close. But yeah, that is encouraging, and obviously it will be really interesting to see what comes out further down the line. And before we jump on though, Colin,
yes,
have you been up to anything?
This is actually quite interesting that you bring this up, because I'm not. I mean, the podcast is called Nintendo Voice.
It is.
I haven't been playing anything Nintendo related, but I've been intrigued.
And the more interesting thing is, I knew that before I asked you.
You did, but I'm so glad you brought it up. I'm intrigued if the listeners / viewers would be interested in hearing what I play outside of Nintendo stuff. So any feedback on that would be great.
So yeah. If you don't like what you hear, let us know.
Exactly.
Alternatively, if you do, also let us know.
That's how it works. So I might wait to hear back from the listeners first before I start going about my PC adventures, because I'm still.
Well, give them a tease.
I mentioned Fallout last time.
Okay.
And I did install Fallout 4 in an effort to try and push my little PC as far as it can go. It runs not terribly well.
That's important. It runs.
It runs at like 4 frames a second, maybe.
4.
Yeah, maybe 3. On good days, maybe 5. So I might have to skip that one, even though I invest in a PS4, which I really don't want to do.
Is it more or less smooth than a 4-player split screen GoldenEye match with only explosives going on? The explosives are important.
It's very close.
Okay.
That's the kind of levels I'm hitting.
Okay.
GoldenEye's great when the explosions went off. It's like, well, put down the controls for a couple of seconds while it loads.
Why would you encourage it with a mode dedicated towards it?
Yeah. Oh, also like Perfect Dark, the same. It has a single player as well, I believe. Like Perfect Dark is like about the. I believe it's about the expansion pack. It just. Crawled.
Well, I think it's mentioned before. I mean, we referenced it, but it's even if you have like 4 screens on that thing, and there's even an explosion, whatever. I mean, the frame rate is just chopperific.
Yeah, and the thing, especially with Perfect Dark, is you can push it even more because, like, I don't think it's a hugely known fact, but like, it gives you options to like increase the resolution.
That's right. Yeah.
Obviously, on top of that, you can add quite a few bots into a match. Can't remember.
Yeah, you can.
But yeah,
speaking of bots, I really, really hope Splatoon 2 has bots.
That would be good.
I really do.
I think the closest we'll get to that, and I'm not sure if this counts or not, but I think in the single player mode, there will be some more like arena type things against Octolings, which you can like repeat. But yeah, that will be an interesting one. I'm not sure which way to go with that. It's possibility on my side.
So yeah, that's basically what I'll be up to.
Okay. So yeah, let us know your feedback. Are you curious about our non-Nintendo adventures on our Nintendo show? Let us know. Hello at nintendovoice.com, at Nintendo Voice. There we go. Okay, shall we jump into our Nintendo news?
Yes.
I was going to say the meat of the show, but
Oh, not yet.
E3
That's
predictions are quite meaty as well.
These are the starters, the appetizers.
Okay. Oh, the appetite. Yeah. So, top of the menu.
Okay.
Well, you're groaning. It's all your
I know. That's why I'm groaning.
Okay. First thing I'm going to talk about is Nintendo's online platform for the Switch. Basically, Nintendo came out. They gave some more details of what the online service is going to be when it comes out on the Switch. And that's the first point to start with, is when. And so the paid service, which they did talk about in the big Switch reveal event, has been delayed till 2018. And they've not given any more details than that. So it could be the very beginning of 2018. It could be the very ends. We'll find out at some point.
If it's the end of 2018, then you're like, what is going on? I mean, obviously, it's not gonna. That's not gonna be the case.
You never know. If it was going to be early, I think they would have said Q1 sort of thing. So my guess would be summer. You know, they've delayed it a whole year. We'll find out.
If it's free by then. All right, so
going alongside that, so starting this summer, we will get a version of the app. The app we've heard so much about, which is going to be essential to Nintendo's online plans for the Switch. So this is the app which lets you do voice chat. It's going to let you do lobbies.
And
I'm not sure exactly how many details they've gone in beyond that, but you kind of assume that you get to your friends on there and so on. That comes out as a free version this summer. In, I guess, a limited version of it is what they're calling it.
Yeah, it's going pretty basic, I would have thought.
Yeah. And so the first thing I think of there is, especially with some news we're going to go into shortly after this, is they'll probably release this either the same day as Splatoon 2, a week or so before, so it's ready for Splatoon 2. I think that's what
viable.
They're thinking for this. Okay. Other big news around this is the price. They hadn't spoken about that before, but they've come out now with an exact figure, at least for America, which is $20 a year.
But they did have other options, I believe.
Exactly, yes. So that's per year, but you can also get it in every 3 months or every month, obviously for reduced prices as well.
Yeah, that's a really good price point. I think that's it's a fantastic price point. I mean, I kind of hope it doesn't mean that the service is like lackluster in any way because of the price.
That's my worry there. I mean, we'll get more into discussion. And I think that's not far off from what the rumored price, I believe, was from when they were. I think it was like the Japanese prices that we saw, or it was like suggested in here, $20 a year. Yeah, I'll do that for online. I mean, and plus, obviously, we have with this delayed, we have free online until whenever it launches in 2018,
which is great. That's awesome.
Yeah. Also, just to jump in with the pricing. We've got on the live chat, Darren 1986 is letting us know, reminding us even of the other pricing tiers. So if you want to go in on a per month basis, it's going to be $3.99. And for 3 months of service, it's $7.99.
You can't argue. You can't argue those prices.
$19.99 for the whole year. And again, clarifying, or maybe went back to the drawing board on this one and revised what they were going to do.
I'm pretty sure they saw the feedback, like
possibly.
You know what? We need to have a look at this.
Yeah. If they were so terribly communicated, I wouldn't be surprised if this was the original plan, but they just worded it so poorly because they didn't want to actually give the full details away.
Possibly.
But if that was the plan, then they got the feedback loud and clear. So what we're talking about is what they're now calling, not the final name, their classic game selection. And this is going to be the paid online service, where you now have access to a selection of classic Nintendo games, which they will add more titles to as time goes on. And we don't know the exact details around it, but it does sound more like a mini Netflix type service. Dan, they were talking about before, which was each month you would have access to a game, and then that game will change the month afterwards. So at least it sounds like we're getting access to, different types of games now, and that those games won't disappear the month afterwards.
Yes, it's one of those rare instances where Nintendo listened.
Yes, that seems like the case.
Or it does the case, but now this game selection, whatever. I mean, this does sound like a great idea for me right there, as far as like having, hey, you pay $20 a year, whatever, you're going to have, this Netflix style of a collection of games, or depending on what the online service that these games have, like a select, like each month it's like, hey, you have access to these for free. It just, the selection will just kind of change, like well, obviously would change out props maybe like month to month. We don't know how many games this could be. It could be 3, it could be 5, it could be 10, or even the whole virtual console lineup for itself.
How awesome would that be? It'd be like a subscription service where it's like, you want to play a virtual console game? Just play it.
Like the way they could differentiate this from normal virtual console is because so far they've only talked about NES games. And so if this service was limited to just NES games, but it was a decent pool of games, and the important detail we've not mentioned on this episode but we have previously is some of these games at least will have added online multiplayer. So if this service was just, there's a whole bunch of NES games of online play you have access to, I think that'd be pretty cool. And like assuming there's other options to play, like Super Nintendo and Beyonds.
Yep.
So I think they did mention that the possibility of SNES games on there.
Yes.
Anything beyond that is still up, and okay. When they showed off the online play for each of these games, the listed SNES games they saw were Balloon Fight. Okay, obvious. Dr. Mario. Okay, puzzle game on there. Super Mario Brothers 3.
Yeah.
I need to ask you all: how does online play fix into that?
Bizarrely, I mean, technically there is a 2-player mode, but you take
There
turns.
is.
If it's not in depth, I mean,
Exactly. So it seems weird to take turns online.
the only thing I can think of is like some sort of leaderboard system. I mean, that's then will still count as online, I guess. But
I mean, the other thing is like maybe, and this could possibly make more sense of what their original plan was, which was like you get one a month and that's it. Is maybe they're thinking about this a bit more in depth, where maybe you do simultaneously play Mario Bros. 3 with 2 people for the first time.
That would be interesting.
And that would kind of more warrant like, that's why we're doing one, because it's gonna take some work. This thing, we're gonna put online multiplayer in these games which didn't have online multiplayer.
Yeah.
I think that, but also I think going back to originally when we were discussing about when we were thinking you're only gonna, when originally it was supposed to be you're only getting one of these games a month, and then they disappear after a month or so, and that of course led to a lot of outrage, mad online speculation. Is that the thing I kind of took away from this? And obviously this has been way more polished. What we see, of course, we don't know the amount of games that are going to be available out there. Is again, it kind of comes back to I believe it, a quote from Minoru Arakawa about how, why did they only release certain games in these few intervals, is because back during the SNES days and Nintendo day, the NES days, is because they wanted, it's in the console wars, and I've mentioned this before, it's they wanted people to be playing the same game at the same time.
Yeah.
And if this is just for online, that I can understand. It's hey, speed here, you can play Secret of Mana probably for this month or even 2 months, whatever. Get on it, whatever, if you want to play it online with friends. That itself is there. But is genius, is a great idea this could be as far as the Netflix style of Nintendo's huge back catalog games, and knowing that we have to figure out how third parties fix into this, knowing with all the licensing issues we have to go through, is what does that mean for the virtual console? Because honestly, I'd be really disappointed knowing that service needs fixing in terms of pricing and how they release like their release schedule is. Well, I want that other option, because if this is going to be basically, I would say, an online only kind of thing, is that I kind of want to take my Switch on the go, knowing like, hey, I'm not going to be online all the time.
Yeah, you're right.
I want those on my Switch permanently. So now that led to a lot of discussion, like what does this mean, or is this killing? Is classic game selection killing off, the Virtual Console? And I did find a quote from, I forgot who it was from, but it was from, well, I found it from Go Nintendo Tweet. And it was translated. It was translated. And the question was basically, is the classic game selection, temporary name, different from the Virtual Console? And Nintendo's response was, the classic game selection is different from VC, having new functionality added to classic games. The sale of VC on Nintendo Switch is still to be announced. So that at least gives a little bit of hope that the VC is still out there, and I really hope that is the case.
No, definitely.
I definitely agree.
I kind of want them to be two separate entities. I mean, it'd be cool if there's some sort of crossover, as in like you've got the option to either buy the game outright on Virtual Console or play it through its Netflix as part of your subscription. Because I mean, I've downloaded Virtual Console games I played like once. And it's like I've never gone back to them, and it's just but because I bought it because I was in the mood for it, and it's like if I could do it throughout a subscription service, that'd be great. I could play it once and go, right, got that on my system, moving on. So some sort of crossover functionality would be cool.
Yeah, definitely. I think, and we can talk about some of this in our E3 predictions if we think it's relevant. I do think Virtual Console is coming. I do think obviously it will have access to much larger selection of consoles than the classic game selection does.
Agreed. Yeah.
And one thing to note, I'm not sure if it's just confusion what I heard, but potential concern of Harrison's on this is, I think at least during the time that you're a paying service user of this, I think you'll be able to play all these games online and offline. I think there'll just be a license tied to your system, and that will be absolutely fine. You can unplug from the internet, and as long as you've paid up to, if you within that year or whatever, all those games will run offline, would be my guess.
I'm not sure, because that would stop all over the Virtual Console if there is crossover.
Oh, true, but because that depends. But if this is like a much smaller pool of games,
they're separate entities, definitely.
Yeah, that'd be the other big thing. So another thing about the Nintendo Switch Online service, I'm not sure if this was talked about previously, but there will be exclusive eShop deals to these premium members. And so this is something which both Microsoft and Sony do, so fine there. But do any of us feel strongly about this either way?
But can we ask, are they better than My Nintendo? That's all we get. It has to
be. we can ask, but we have no answers yet.
Yeah, I mean, I still give My Nintendo a chance. It's just, and I've mocked it before. I mean, as much as I mock it on there, it like, if you were essentially the hardest of hardcore, it sucks to have, really, because I think I've only gotten maybe 4 or so deals on there of games I wanted to buy that I'm like, okay, I wanted that price on there. It just, I feel like it's a little bit backwards.
Yeah.
Well, not backwards. It's just like, I feel like the gold rewards there, what you get first, they should be more the platinum awards, whereas if gold awards should essentially, like, not gold awards, but stuff that you use gold coins on is, I don't know, you're getting it either, hey, you might be getting this like 50% off or 75% off or even free. That's, I can understand why they did away with the physical rewards, is because of the idea of like, they have to pay for the shipping, all this, and it just takes weeks, even months for it to all get out.
Yeah.
So,
I've had so many like email notifications say, "Oh, you have like coins you need to use up. They're about to expire." I'm like, "There's nothing I want, so I can't use them."
Oh,
what do you want me to do? If I can gift them to somebody, I'll say take them.
Okay. Do you know how bad the state of the My Nintendo Reward program is? an example of that is just today, I paid good digital currency on wallpapers.
Yeah, I did that too.
Because
That's
I've got coins which are just going to expire otherwise. So I'm buying wallpapers because why not?
If they give me a Samus wallpaper or a Metroid one, whatever, I'm putting my money I'm putting my coin to that.
Yeah.
No questions asked.
And so that does cover the announcements around the platform, but we do have something which ties into this quite nicely. And it was similar sort of timing. And so accessory has been announced for Splatoon 2, and it's a headset for live voice chat. And
it's a cool headset. It is a really cool
headset. It's made by Hori. It's obviously licensed and so on, but it's been marketed as like the official headset for Splatoon 2 in Japan. It's only being announced in Japan yet. And if you're listening, you're watching, you probably have seen this, but just in case. So it's a headset which I think goes around the back. It kind of looks like something which you'd find in the Splatoon universe. But most importantly, the way you connect this to the Switch is you have a cable going from the headset to a little adapter, and then you've got another 3.5 cable going from that to your smartphone, and obviously from the little adapter also you've got a cable which goes into the Switch itself.
Oh dear.
It is a mess.
That is a total mess. That is not user friendly in any way.
That's the thing. That's a third party dealing with that. We don't know what Nintendo's setup is, and once I saw that, my initial thought was, "Wow, I actually just dealing with voice chat on the phone. It sounds divine at this point." When I looked at that, because it's meant to be like, well, so you can hear game audio. Yes. So that's why that little, and it's the little dongle, the little splitter, which is shaped like a squid.
Yeah,
it's cute, but I don't want to have to. The fact that I have to deal with so many cords on here is just like it's. I mean, I try not to get too upset about it right now because really, I just don't use voice chat that much. But again, I would like it to be very user friendly, and it makes me think. How much do you would you be willing to pay maybe $5 extra for a Pro controller where it just connects to right there?
Yeah.
Would you be willing to do that? That's why I get to it. And obviously the internet was not very kind to this photo. But also I did get a good bit of laughs out of here of the shops. One where it made it look like the Zelda timeline.
Yes, I did. Yeah,
I really did. I saw like, why is the link to a past on there? And I said, oh, if the hero has fallen. But no, it's just the thing I can bank off is like, okay, this is what a third party has to go through, and then leaves us with what's Nintendo's option to do with this? Are we? But also, this is only if you're. Well, I'm assuming if you're playing this in handheld mode. I'm assuming.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I almost because knowing how Nintendo handles things, like I'd almost talk myself into going, okay, it's weird, but I'll get used to it, sort of thing. But then I realised most of the time I'm going to be playing Splatoon 2 next to TV, and I'm going to be on a nice, comfy sofa a fair bit away. And so, in order for this setup to work, I would need a very long 3.5 audio cable going from my Switch next to the TV to my smartphone next to me with a cable from that to my headset, and it's like it really is such a mess.
It just sounds like they completely over-engineered the thing. You know, it's just we had to make this work somehow. It's like it's kind of like maybe like a wireless adapter or something. Anything.
Yeah, that's the potential thing. So in terms of options, out from live chat, we've got Darren here saying like Discord on mobile says hi. There are options. So like Discord, like my understanding of how this service would work is like you'd also be able to use the Nintendo voice chat app in a non-convoluted way. Assuming you don't want your audio mixed for you. So you could have your phone next to you with a headphone kind of like this, just plugged up to one ear. That's the only cable you need, and just have the game audio coming from the TV.
Yeah,
I assume that's going to be an option. Work out the back. What this accessory is for oddly, like for people who want to go beyond that. It's a very convoluted setup to do, but I think that was the only way for them to do it with Nintendo's weird plan.
Yeah, this is something for the hardcore in my mind, because given the option, most people be like, "I'll just take the voice chat option and don't need the game audio to go with it." You know,
or just kind of listen to it coming from the TV sort of thing. It shouldn't. Depending how the mic's set up, it shouldn't. You could do it in a way that it doesn't interfere.
Yeah, definitely.
It could also cause just terrible echoes and noise, audio
feedback, and all that good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and again, it's just as much as I would love to actually just, finally get. I'm looking forward to playing, Splatoon 2 with voice chat. But also, this is with friends. Obviously, that's the only way. You can't be. We still have that other barrier where it's only not going to be, with these strangers, because we can definitely agree that the world of voice chat and video games is a bastion of filth and vile and just terrible, terrible things.
Yep, been there.
That's what it is. It's like that well has been poisoned so beyond belief that it's no way to recover.
And just because it's so timely, from the live chat, we've got Darren again.
Good old Darren.
Says, or maybe since Nintendo are trying to appeal to adults, marketing commercials at launch show that, why not just give us a headset and trust parents to monitor their children, not Nintendo? We have children Nintendo accounts now. Why not just unlock all that for adults, and child accounts have limited access with mobile? I don't think they're doing this to be like family friendly, kid safe.
No, I think they're doing it just because they want to be awkward. It's kind of Nintendo way.
Yeah, my theory around this is because, like, it's such a bizarre setup that surely there's only a few options of why this would be a smart idea, why you would come up with this for your business model. And the only thing I can think of is that they wanted to take as many resources away from the Switch as they could.
Yeah.
Because it's not a very powerful device compared to its competition. So the way to get more power out of it is to let more of its power be used by games. And I think this was a lesson they kind of learned from the Wii U, oddly. And so they kind of really streamlined it. So the OS is very, very simple. It's very basic. And
with more to come, obviously. I mean, we are it's just.
Oh no, true. But in terms of like background operations and such, taking voice chat and the lobbies and everything else outside, putting it into the cloud, and having a smartphone app access it instead, means when you're playing your online game, the system gets to use more of its resources running the game instead of also managing these other bits. And I think that was a big. Again, it's not. This is just me guessing. That was a big decision in why they said, all right, let's put it on a mobile app. Because then they don't have to use those resources. Again, I could be completely off basis here, but that's the only logic I could jump to of why they would do that. And the only other thing I could think of is maybe it's the DNA partnership. Maybe they're actually just doing this app and the service as a whole. And it's easier for them to manage it as an app, and it's easier for them to update it without having to update the OS of the system.
Yeah.
Things like that. But it doesn't make your experience better.
Nope. No, it doesn't.
The only small hope I've got is that there are a few cool things you could do with a setup like this, which is things like, oh yeah, you can set up a lobby system on your phone. Or you can go, oh, let's just send an invite out to Twitter, and then they hit a link. And because they've got the app on their phone, it joins them into the match, and the Switch boots them up or straight in there, sort of thing.
Or
you could do some cool things like that, but the voice chat is convoluted.
No, it is, and I'm really hopeful for this app is actually going to have, more to it. Whatever, aside from like, hey, this is we had to increase the speed of the Switch, whatever, as far as like to have something separate from it, as backwards as that is. You can add something like, hey, I'm off and about, whatever, and I'm messaging people, whatever, on there. Even, yes, you do take your Switch. If you do take your Switch with you, or if you're in an area where you don't have it, it's just like, hey, I'm adding friends here and there, whatever, or messaging, hey, this time we want to do this, blah, 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 and then there could be other things to it. Maybe there could be My Nintendo integration, whatever, or eShop integration, where you're able to, pre-purchase or pre-download games through there. That's. I guess what I'm trying to say is, I hope it's more than just a voice chat app.
Yeah, I'm hoping the functionality is varied, as opposed to just being that one-trick pony, essentially. Yeah.
That's true. And I mean, as we said before, the app is going to launch in a limited state. And it might even just kind of be launched essentially as the Splatoon 2 online app.
Most likely it will.
But it would be interesting to see like if that kind of gets updated gradually until the full system goes live, or it kind of just stays into the same limited state, and then sometime next year they're like, everything's ready. Here's the paywall.
No, I kind of feel like the building blocks idea that they got, that seems to be like the design ethos of the Switch. It's like everything's bare bones, but we're going to build on it over time. So by the end, in a year or so, it's going to be like this fantastic operating system. But right now, it's basic. I think they'll do that. I think they'll do it.
All right. Does anyone have anything else to say about anything Nintendo Online or headset related before we move on?
It's getting better every time I hear about it. So the online service itself is anyway.
Yeah.
Is this separating the headset?
Yeah, the headset's not a good idea, and that's
I feel for most people that was kind of worse news.
Yeah, but I mean,
even though in the back of my mind I knew that was the only way that would actually work, unless they could do quite an advanced wireless setup where it connected to two devices at the same time.
I'm surprised. I was surprised they haven't worked that out. I'm sure there's a way, and
although they might do, and they might still be doing it, but it'll probably be a lot more expensive than this.
I imagine so.
Splatoon headset.
Yeah, definitely. As in the actual online service itself, the price and everything. Yeah, that's great news. I just want them to keep unveiling stuff. Maybe at E3, we will see.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I'm liking the pricing of the service. It just I'm wanting more updates of that, but also the overall OS, because I like being, as we said, we're just beta testers for this first thing until whatever happens in fall.
Yeah.
I mean, that's any console launch. It really is. It just I'm growing. I want to say I'm not growing impatient. It's just I'm like I really want to hear more about this, because I'm loving my Switch. I love the form factor of it. It's just I just wish I could do just slightly a little bit more. That would just be great.
Okay. Well, we did have a direct today.
Really?
Direct. Exactly. Announced the day before. It's all over now.
Yeah.
And we had a few announcements. 3 really. And I guess we'll do them in the order that they appeared. And so the first thing, big go to start off the event.
Such a tease. This was such a tease.
They got straight into it though. They let you know that Pokken Tournament Deluxe will be coming out for the Switch. It's going to be launching September 22nd with 5 new characters. And I think either 3 or 4 of them, I think maybe 4, are from the arcade version.
Yeah, 4 are from the arcade version. One new exclusive.
Yeah, Decidueye looks. Yeah, as soon as when I saw Decidueye's final form in Sun and Moon, I was like, yeah, if they ever do DLC for Pokken Tournament, whatever, that's there.
That's kind of the surprising thing. They never did DLC for the Wii U version, and I'm like,
no, the DLC version's DX. You got to buy it again.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, what? The Wii U version? They're not even gonna bother like, here's throw a little bone out to the people who bought that version. No, you have to buy the DX version, which also, by the way, deluxe. Is that going to be the naming convention for every like upgraded version? Is like DX or deluxe or?
It's better. Hey, it's better than putting new in front of it.
That's very true.
Agreed. Yeah, something we can get behind.
Although it does make me wish that we do get a Xenoblade Chronicles X DX, just because it rolls off the tongue.
And also, it's going to make a very bad joke, but
yeah,
need Super Mario Bros. Deluxe.
Exactly.
Yes, the Game Boy Color one. Because I was going, that would be the new line instead of new, but they've already tread through those waters.
It's fine by me. I mean, so I feel like I like that. I know I like that branding a little bit more, but going into this direct, I was kind of just weighing in between, like, okay, what's the best case scenario for this and what's the worst case scenario for this? And I was obviously getting a little too excited about, like, how is this going to be Pokemon Stars, the next iteration of the mainline series that's going to be on Switch, and maybe there's a lesser version on 3DS. Obviously, we did get the biggest tease of teases when we start with the Switch. It's like, okay, we're getting a game for Switch, and I'm not mad at this Pokken Tournament. I mean, it's a game that fairly did well, and I know some people really liked that is, getting another bit of an extra bit of life here on the Switch. But, which kind of want to lead me back to my comment I said earlier, how you're getting all these multiplayer focused games here, and what's and Nintendo really was. I feel like that they're pulling out a lot as far as like their Wii U titles, like whatever those great multiplayer games are out there. Whatever you had Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Yeah.
Now you're getting Pokken Tournament Deluxe. Now you're getting Splatoon and then ARMS. Mm-hmm. This is really becoming a good multiplayer focused game or like a platform. But I'm just trying to figure out, like, we do have first party single player games coming. It's just I'm trying to name more beyond FE Warriors, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Mario Odyssey, and then of course we had like a Breath of the Wild. But this one, it's just I'm glad it's there. It fills in another slot in the fall lineup. But I don't know. I have more basically talking about once we get to the rest of the lineup and what we've seen discussed here.
So, one thing I did think was quite cool. I mean, it should be an obvious thing for a game on Switch, but playing the game in tabletop mode, it seems the Joy-Cons are actually a really good fit for this game, despite because it replicates the exact control scheme of that Pokken controller, which is an analog stick for face buttons and the LNR, which is exactly what you've got on the Joy-Con.
They saw it coming, you see. So, yeah.
And I've heard a bit of back and forth, whether it's confirmed or not, but will the Pokken tournament controller for Wii U be compatible version as well?
No, wait, the actual Pokken controller?
Yeah.
I think they said that it was going to.
Oh, okay, yeah, I've heard a bit back and forth whether it's been official or not. But that would be cool. And also whether, like, will it work for more games than just Pokken if they do make it happen? Because if they do, that would be a great alternative to an expensive Pro controller.
It would. No, you're right.
Especially prices nowadays, or until people realise, at least, if that's the case.
Yeah.
And let's jump on to some more. And so the next thing they talked about, the next big mainline Pokemon game, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
Okay, I'm going to say something now.
Okay.
Way too soon.
Way too soon?
Way too soon.
Really?
Way too soon.
Okay, so the Pokemon games came out, Sun and Moon came out 6 months ago?
Back in November.
Yeah.
So by the time it launches, it will be, a year after the games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, barely.
Which, by the way, did we mention when Pokemon? Oh, by the way, we forgot. Pokken Tournament comes out in September, correct?
Yeah, 22nd. 22nd, I think. Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, I feel like these updated versions didn't really need to happen. It was like, yeah, we can do it. We'll just crank these out.
It's Pokemon, Colin.
I know.
They've been doing this for years.
But
25 years.
I think that's the issue. They've been doing it so long. It's
But it makes it slightly like this isn't like I don't know what color you would do it. Like, I guess stars with the rumored thing. Like, it's not like a bird, but I guess it makes it even worse that it's because it's not even like number 2.
No, it's not even like black and white too. It's
they're doing 2 version 3s.
Yeah,
with a different story.
Like, how different that story
ridiculous.
is. Like, if it is genuinely like, oh, it takes place in the same world, but the what you're doing from point A to point B is very, very different the entire way through, then I feel that's a lot more justified. Where if it's you essentially are doing the same points, but there's a few extra side quests chucked in.
I just feel like this could have been sold to us as like DLC, but instead they're charging us for a whole new game, and it's because it's
that is what's happening. Yes,
it's not. They're not improving like the graphical quality of the game. The only thing I did notice they changed. There's no longer a Wii U in your bedroom.
No,
that's okay. They changed it to a Switch.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, with this though, this is just showing. Okay, this is like whatever the Pokemon Company's decisions and Game Freak's as well is. There is precedent for basically them just for continuing to release, late Pokemon games on a late in the life cycle of a handheld, such as a 3DS, and then this shows that it's still a viable platform. Yes, I would really like to see. That would have been great to see something like a mainline series coming this fall for it, or even in the 2018. But I should have probably known better going in, thinking like, yeah, we're probably going to get an extra one there because the base is there. People are still playing the 3DS, even with their Switches probably as well. But I don't know. It still finds me silly because it's the fact that people like once the Switch is out, it's like 3DS dead. And with the release of the new 2DX XL, they're trying to give this another boost until later on. I mean, we did. I'm just looking back, thinking like, wow, 2017 might be the end of the 3DS, but it looks like Beyond is still going strong. So
still going to go for at least a year, I believe.
Yeah, and it has so many tons of awesome games either way. But I don't know. But eventually, I think we're going to get one on there. It's just now it's like, hey, got this out. Now we're moving on.
Yeah, and it now makes a lot more sense how Nintendo had quite a positive expectation of 2DS, 3DS sales figures throughout this year, and that's because there's a new Pokemon game going, which we weren't aware of.
But it's not new though. That's the issue.
Sorry, a Pokemon game is going to be released, which people will buy, and also systems for kids and so on, and adults alike. And the other thing to always remember is it's a very bizarre setup, but the Pokemon Company, despite releasing mainline Pokemon games exclusively for Nintendo systems, is a private company.
Yeah.
Which does, obviously have by Nintendo of a certain percentage, but they are a private company and they do look out for themselves. And they are going to look at the options which make them the most money. They're not necessarily in it to make Nintendo as a whole more profitable.
Nope.
And so that's why, personally, again, I believe they do support these systems very late in life because that's when they have the biggest install base. So it makes the most sense for them as a company to make a game on the system with the most people playing and buying games because that's where they're going to sell the most copies. That's just always a thing to remember. And everyone, and I'm guilty of this, you always get wrapped up in maybe this will be the time. Stars, it sounds like such a great idea. And maybe next time.
Well, Eurogamer, they have a little bit of explaining to do. So they were one of those who peddled that rumor about Pokemon Stars, but I joked on Twitter about how, rest in peace to their mentions. And, but I don't know, Lewis, you're right about something like this. I'm not trying to backpedal too much as far as rumors or what we thought as far as the expectation of this direct is that going in, I should have known better. This was probably going to be a mild announcements, but also I'm kind of glad they got that Pokken tournament switch out of the way and whatever for Ultra Sun and Moon, as opposed to hey, the Pokemon Company really wanted to get this out and not wasting more time on it. So
yeah. we've got one more Pokemon thing to talk about, but again, there is a connection between this feature and the next one. We are just a week away from E3, and I'm not suggesting we're going to get any big Pokemon announcements. Quite the opposite, actually.
Yeah, I think we know.
And again, reiterating, Pokemon Company is their own company. They do have, their own anatomy. I don't know the words, but they are separate. So it would be fascinating to see whether there was kind of a top reason to pull these announcements outside of an E3, because they could have sat inside, even though traditionally they haven't. Is there going to be enough new stuff without this? It makes sense to put this out in front, or else it's just going to get lost in all the Nintendo news? Or is it just that Pokemon Company are like, no, it's Pokemon news. It happens on a Pokemon news day.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen on a Nintendo news day. But we'll find out soon.
Yeah.
And so the last piece of Nintendo news, last piece of Pokemon news here is that Pokemon Gold and Silver are getting the VC Plus treatment, as I call them, on the 3DS. Also coming out September 22nd. And what that Plus treatment is it has compatibility with Pokemon Bank. And so obviously anything you catch, you can upload to Pokemon Bank, and then you can pull them into other games. You have a wireless battle and link play, which I imagine wasn't a small task to do.
No, for reporting something like that, for emulating something like this, of course. But this was that. If I had to say my best favorite part of this news, it was definitely this little item. I mean, if for those who realize, it's like, yeah, you're not only getting a good little gym campaign here with this, is that you're getting also the first game that's included into this. You're getting the Kanto region.
That's right. Yeah. Bargain. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds cool. I mean, I'll definitely pick it up. It reminds me, I've still yet to complete Yellow on the VC. I did get quite far. I do need to. I think I've got a gym and obviously the Elite Four left. I've got some time between now and September 22nd to wrap that one
you
up.
get wrapped up pretty quickly, I should think.
Upload them onto Pokemon Bank, and then I can jump into Gold and Silver. In between matches of Pokken, maybe. We'll find out. But we now have our Big E3 prediction show. And I've put together somewhat of a list of things we can go through. Just so we've got some order. We've got a record we can go back to. And the way I've ordered this, we've got some non-game stuff to start with, like accessories, bundles, stuff like that. Where we've got, depending on what comes up, each one may be quick or short or whatever. Do we think these new games will come out in these series? We'll go through that stuff, and then anything outside of that we think might be revealed as a game of a new series, and then end with a super specific prediction and high stakes for that one. So not just I think
we're covering everything here as far as dotting the i's, crossing the t's, and just
exactly, yeah. So I'm not just accepting new game in this series. I also want what the new gimmick will be, potentially what the title is, what the new character's hair color will be.
We're gonna get title.
All the better.
The age rating, all that good stuff.
The rating, how much it's gonna sell.
and remember, you only get points for things you get right. You don't lose points for things you don't get right. Because no one will ever remember those small details. That's how you do good predictions. I've learnt this from the past.
So you just make a million predictions.
Do a scattergun approach. Say 10 things, and then when 3 of them come up, you can boast about them on the internet.
You can.
And you forget about the rest. You go 3 out of 3. I got them all. There you go. That's a little tip from me. So let's start.
Terrible.
I'm not sure why we're starting here, but new accessories. Do we think there's going to be any new accessories shown?
We're going to see
from Nintendo.
Well, accessories. We're going to see new Joy-Con colors. That's really a given.
That counts. Yeah.
That counts.
Yeah. If there's new Joy-Con colors, do you reckon they'll be paired with a certain game or anything, or just colors?
I could see red and blue ones for Mario Odyssey, but thing is, okay, this came out right before the show, before recording, but I just wanted to put this in a preface, whatever bit, is that it's being reported that this E3 Spotlight next week on Tuesday is going to run almost maybe 30 minutes long.
Yes.
Now, yes, and looking back at old directs or their old, their digital events that they've done, they've ran an average around like 40, 46 minutes, but also you've had like developer diaries, discussions, and I remember the one in 2014 where they put a big, heavy discussion on, Woolly World for a bit.
Yes.
So, and then you had the usual skits, like, you had 1 year with the guys from Robot Chicken, and then you had the Iwata Miyamoto and Reggie Muppets. So that, I'm just saying, looking back at the last direct that we had that was just talking about 3DS titles and just a little sprinkle of Wii U material, that went by really quick, and we still got a load bit of content. So
yeah,
I just wanted to start that out there. Whatever. I mean, it could mean a lot of things, but also, I guess what I'm trying to say is, after that Pokemon Direct, the little voice in the back of my head is telling me, like, you may want to lower your expectations for next week, because it's probably going, because it's probably just going to be those games that we've already been announced, but you're going to get more. But I think the main thing coming out of this, though, and I know I'm getting ahead of myself, is that we're going to see more about Mario Odyssey, a sandbox Mario title. So that itself excites me to the core. If that was the only thing they show, like, during that 30 minutes.
It's 30 minutes on Mario Odyssey. I was just like, best E3 ever.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'd be content. A little bit. I wouldn't be fine. A little disappointed, but it's like, hey, I got to see more Mario. Now, as far as accessories, they could announce those today, or they could just announce those later on for at a future direct.
Yeah. Okay. How about you, Colin? Do you reckon there'll be any new accessories shown around?
I kind of feel that they're going to throw something out. I'm going to go with an outlandish prediction. They're going to show off a keyboard accessory.
Ooh. Are they going to be kind of pairing this with any particular game? Or just going, where's the keyboard now for a Switch?
That I haven't thought too far ahead of, but I'm just thinking, I sort of feel it's like, it's going to throw random, like, oh, you might need this in the future.
That's cool. So just kind of the keyboard, or do you reckon it'd be like the old GameCube controller, with like it's got Pro controller on each side of this keyboard?
I didn't think of it like that, but that could work. Yeah, I kind of feel like they're going to do something that nobody expects. They go, oh, okay, that's cool.
Okay.
It's
all right. For me, then, I'm going to say another headset is going to be shown.
Well, no, actually, isn't.
Better or worse, I can't comment on just yet.
Oh, okay.
Wired or wireless.
Is it going to be worse?
You got to commit, Lewis. Is it going to be better or worse?
Well, it could be both. That's the problem.
Right.
I reckon they'll probably show another headset which is basically the same as the Splatoon 2 one, but it doesn't look like something an Inkling would wear.
Okay.
That's a possibility. Yeah. So next up, Virtual Console.
I wanted to talk to you about your keyboard thing on there.
Fair enough. Okay, that's
well,
good.
Didn't the Wii U have keyboard support that was like patched in?
It did.
I believe so.
Okay, it did. So I'm going to say
USB keyboard support. Yes.
Well, I'm not going to say it's going to be announced at E3, but I'm going to say in the future we are going to have keyboard support for the Switch. But then again, wouldn't that kind of go against the fact of the haptic feedback on the touchscreen? So
yeah, I was just thinking of a keyboard that you actually click onto the Switch itself.
Oh, wow.
Just because. I don't know. It's going to be something crazy.
As in just like you take off like one of the Joy-Cons and you put
but the keyboard also has like a Joy-Con like grip on the end of it, so you can have like an extra long. How crazy would that be?
That would be very crazy. I have to say. Anything else accessory-wise before we jump on?
No.
No. I'm going to start writing down what we said as well when we go through this. Next up, Virtual Console. Not Virtual Console yet, so I'm going to start with. I think Harrison's going to have some words to say. So, what do you reckon is going to be the state of Virtual Console by the end of E3?
I don't think we hear about it. I really don't think we hear about it. I think it's going to be like one of those stealth announcements that we see later on.
Just exactly.
I've just gotten to the point where I'm just numb about the Virtual Console. Like, I want it out there, but it's got to the point where I'm like, if it comes, it comes, whatever. But I don't want to see basically on there unless they decide to announce like, hey, here's GameCube games, there we go. But I don't think we'll see it. I don't.
All right, Colin.
Because they delayed the service, the paid version of the service till 2018. That kind of tells me that they're not really going to reveal anything about it. Honestly, I don't, because the show is rumored to be estimated about 30 or so minutes long. Yeah, I don't want time wasted by Virtual Console stuff.
That's true. 'Cause it's something which it's hard to kind of just quickly run by. You need to kind of explain what the situation
is. They'll spend 15
is.
minutes just talking about it. And you'd be like, move on,
In these predictions discussions, we have to remind ourselves sometimes the safer, less exciting option is worth going through. Kind of go with the gut. Happen. Only certain things can be talked about at once. So, are you saying it's going to be a no-go for Virtual Console?
I think we won't hear about it until nearer the time that the paid service comes into play.
Okay. Then it leaves me to fill the role of the positive thinker. Virtual Console. It's going to be talked about. Okay. It's going to be dated. I'm not going to go as far as to say, they're going to go, and the first batch is on now. But I think they'll at least say a quarter or a month when it's going live. I'm not going to rule out they do the turnaround. Their stuff's up. Oddly, I don't think they'll mention GameCube at all. I reckon it'll be.
What do you think is the big surprise game that they have on there? Like,
I know where you're going with this. I'm not sure there's going to be necessarily any big surprise game for day one. I reckon they will have their familiar, comfortable stuff. NES, Super Nintendo, N64. Hopefully, we'll hear more about non-Nintendo consoles and things like that, because that's what I also quite liked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In kind of a scattering of random games between those three systems is what they'll talk about at least. And then it might hopefully not be what the entire service is, but they'll at least make a little bit of time to go, Virtual Console is coming, here's some systems to expect, here's some games to expect, moving on. So
no Mother 3. Okay.
Basically. I'll add that to my prediction.
You knew Harrison was
there we go. What's that? No Mother 3.
No Mother 3.
No, yeah. I think I got in the right now where it's like, I may just have to write it in blood, where like my prediction, where it's just like it's not happening. I don't know.
Harrison, it kind of feels like you got like Mother 3 PTSD at this point.
I think the kind of is president for it.
The only reason
we had Earthbound Beginnings announced at E3, didn't we?
Wait, what?
Beginnings announced at E3. There's precedent for it.
I'm saying that's what I'm going off of. I'm like, okay, if a toy they can drag him out for that, they sure as hell could do the same thing for Mother 3 localized, or whatever they decide to do with it, like a remaster or something. It's a matter. It's another matter if I feel like with this, it's when, but I don't know. I've been saying it for the last 2-3 years.
Yes, you have.
I've been saying it on the Nintendo days. I did.
All right, let's move on before any of us change our minds. Price drops. Across any of Nintendo's systems, will they formally announce any price drops? And I'll also include on this, like, an announcement of like a classics range sort of thing.
Like the Select?
The Select sort of range, yeah. Either that or a system price drop. Anything of that nature to be discussed?
No, I don't think so.
No? No's around? Yeah, I think it's a no for me as well.
Yeah, those are ones where you'll get. We may probably by the time after the new 2DS XL is released, or even in the fall, I could probably see another range of like 3DS Selects announced.
Next up, similar sort of fashion, system bundles. Anything during the E3 window from the beginning of the week to the end of the week. System bundles announced.
I think I really do believe by Christmas time we will get a bundle, whether it's say a Splatoon 2 one or even oh dear if they did a Mario Odyssey bundle, that would just yeah, or more. Well, there was that rumored one that was in the Mario Kart 8 one, which I think was only listed in Russia.
Yeah, and also to note, there is a Splatoon 2 bundle available to pre-order, at least in Japan and in Europe. I'm not sure about America.
I'm gonna go no. I don't think no here. Just cause so.
Yeah, I think it's like it's just something they don't want to dedicate time to.
Yeah,
they've got a limited show, but at least what we think, it's make it about the games.
I think
it's no for you as well. Then
you can tell right now after we figure out that supposed like runtime right now.
That's an important factor in all this.
What the show is like an hour long? It might be.
Well, it doesn't sound like it's going to be.
No, it's unlikely, but optimism is, that's how you get through life. That's.
This is true.
Yeah.
That's my mantra. After that comment, is that a no from you, Colin?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I'm also going to join you on the nose for this one. No bundles. I'm sure there will be bundles, but I mean not during the main E3 show, and so I'm assuming not during E3 itself. I've already done this one. So the next one was added last minute. Considering the runtime, and considering the last few digital events we've had, will there be, like the last few years, some sort of skit going through this show, whether it's the Robot Chicken style or the Muppet sort of thing? Is there going to be anything of that nature? Is it going to be more like the last actual direct we had, where it's just going to be more rapid fire announcements?
No, I don't think so. I think we would have known. Well, we may have a theme based around just Odyssey, but see, there's a lot of no's I'm getting on this right now.
Which is fine, because there hopefully will be some yeses, as it were, and it's just pinpointing where those yeses will be for each.
I'm going to say no skits. None.
Okay.
I mean, it's not a digital event, and they didn't really... Yeah, there you go.
All right. No, to be fair, it's not an obvious move, because the last few years they have had them. So, Colin, what do you reckon? Skits or no skits?
I've just had a thought about a skit they could do, which would be amazing. So,
bonus points if you get the skit. There we go.
Well, I don't think they actually do it. But what if Nintendo teamed up with the makers of Reboot this time around, and when it says "warning, incoming game," that's like the game announcement that happens. How cool would that be?
Wait, like Reboot as in the
old CG
that
show from that
garbage?
It's supremely tiny. It's amazing. I watched it the other week. It's great, and how cool would that be?
Are even the people who animate them available? I mean,
I'm not sure they're still alive.
Exactly.
Okay, when they announced something like this, my guess was like, okay, they did stop motion, they did puppets, and I thought the only logical conclusion was going, okay, animated. But I was thinking more along the lines like, hey, can you knock on Studio Ghibli's door for a little bit, or maybe Pixar? Not like, hey, here's some crappy looking mid-90s CG cartoon.
That show looked amazing. What are you talking about?
I think when I watched that, and what was it? Really bad. What was a really bad Super Nintendo game? I mean, I was playing. Oh, Rise of the Robots. Every time I watch that, the way the animation, I'm just like, it was. And I look back, I'm like, why did I rent that twice when I was younger? And I always ask them.
Wow.
It's like twice in 2 weekends. Yeah, so that's 2 weekends from my childhood I was never getting back.
That's a big loss right there. That's wow.
Hmm.
But yeah, let's go with reboot.
All right. Yes, finally a yes from Colin there. I'm going to join Harrison. I reckon they're having a more focused direct. They're just going to go from announcement to announcement. They're not going to have the little skits in between. And this is kind of more of a wishful thinking answer, really, is because I'm hoping they're kind of saving time from not having the skits. And so they get more time for game announcements. But maybe that's not the case. Maybe they're reducing the running time, the same amounts of skits in there. We'll find out. But my answer is going to be a no. But we're up to the games now. And the first game I wanted to talk about was one which is very heavily rumoured. To the fact that some people are calling it official and confirmed. And this is Mario Kingdom Battle. And I've put in brackets that Rabbids game.
Just in case you didn't know which one it was.
Just in case you weren't sure of all the Mario games, which one this was.
You had to remind us, I'm sure.
Yes. So, will Mario Kingdom Battle appear at E3?
Yes.
Yes, from
I think it will appear, but it won't be during the spotlight. I think it would be wiser to. Well, if this doesn't show up at, like, say, Ubisoft's like presser.
That counts, just to confirm, yeah. If it only appears in Ubisoft for the purposes of this prediction, so that would count.
Because I'm getting that point. I'm getting thinking, like, if that's your presser, and then you're like, does that really set the stage as far as like what third parties are going to be on the Switch? Where it's like, oh, it's just going to be the same. Where it's, yeah, we have to deal with the fact that like we're not going to be getting all this is, and it's just going to be a cold shoulder to them.
Yeah.
So just to confirm, what is your stance, Harrison, there?
On the Kingdoms, it's going to show up at Ubi's presser, and I think we may have briefly mentioned as far as a release date, but not too much talked about it.
Cool. And I think a yes from me as well. And so that's a yes for all. Okay. Now we're going to go down a list of just kind of main series Nintendo franchises. Do we think any games we've not heard about will be announced from that franchise? And they can be spin-offs, they can be whatever, but focused around that franchise. So the first one is Zelda. Of new Zelda games announced.
No. I think it's too soon. We may have some more information about the DLC. Yeah. Actually, no. I take that back. We already know about the first portion of it. I don't think probably in the similar fashion, we'll find out about the second portion, which is the new dungeon, new story segments, until the time comes.
Yeah.
That'll be another announcement that just kind of just is, Nintendo being Nintendo is like, hey, here it is through the Twitter account. I don't think so with this, unless they decide to make another one in the same style of what we saw with Link Between Worlds. But I'm going to say we are not seeing any Zelda at all as far as main series during the spotlight. None.
Okay. And how about you, Colin?
Well, Harrison mentioned about Link Between Worlds. I believe we will see a 2D top-down Zelda in the vein of a Link Between Worlds.
For what system?
That's the tricky one. I'm going to say...
Sorry to ask such a leading question.
I'm going to say 3DS. But, yeah.
Okay. I was very tempted to say that. But I've decided to join the side of Harrison here. I'm going to say no. No. I reckon they may tease second batch of DLC as long as put a firm date on the first batch of DLC. I reckon I might go into details there. I don't reckon we'll have any new Zelda game announcements. I wouldn't be terribly surprised if they do, if the other team's game does appear. because they were on the sort of schedule where one would. But I reckon they've reformed to do something a little bit different, and thus it will require a bit more time. And they've got time because of Breath of the Wild. So yeah, I'm just going to say no for Zelda for me.
Yeah, because they're growing Breath of the Wild. I mean, and like anything like that, what we saw with this expansion pass, they're still technically working on this. So I don't know. It's absurd to think like, oh, here's the next mainline series. So that's a definite and staunch no.
Yeah. Okay.
Starting to feel slightly bad about my answer, but carry on.
No, it's a good one to be there. It's the sort of thing which people don't predict. Yeah, going by track records and such, it would make sense. It would make business sense and all the rest of it if that team was working on a game since Triforce Heroes.
Yeah.
We'll find out. Next up, this is a bizarre one. So Mario counts anything which would have Mario in the title, really. Obviously doesn't count Kingdom Battle, because they'll deliberately put that above. Will we see any Mario Maker, Mario Sports, Mario Party, to new Mario? Anything we've not seen yet.
Well, I want to say Mario Maker Deluxe so bad, but I'm keep going back. I'm like, how would they do that exactly with just one screen? But again, I'm trying to look at this right now. Okay, we know as far as the 2017 games are coming out. I mean, we that's what I'm trying to focus. Like what we're going to see up, obviously there. It's just what things as far as that could maybe appear in 2017 or just early 2018 that I'm trying to think. But this Sports Maker Party, this is gonna be my first yes or no, whatever. But to it, my yes, I'm gonna say, we're gonna see, we will see a Mario Sports title. And as far as the sports style, I'm gonna say golf.
Okay.
That's my off the wall.
If I have to press you, what system would golf come out on?
I'm gonna say Switch.
On the Switch. Okay. Colin.
So, yeah, I was gonna say Mario Sports. Tennis though.
Tennis.
Switch first.
Yeah,
I find tennis tends to go first. But
Mario Power Tennis Deluxe, yeah.
You know what? It doesn't sound too ridiculous. But I'm also going to say Mario Party 11 because, darn it, that series won't go away. So that's going to be a Switch title because why not? Yeah, Mario Party 11.
Okay.
Do we need 11 Mario Parties? Apparently so.
We need a Mario Party with proper online. That's what we need.
Maybe with the Switch's game room thingy, classic room.
The app is called the Thingy. There we go.
Yeah, there you go. But I mean, Mario Party 1 with online play, I'll take it.
Cool. And just because it's the sort of thing I do, I'll ask a never pressing question. Will this tennis game for the Switch, will it be developed by Camelot?
Yes.
Ooh, okay.
Because that's all they do these days. Another Golden Sun.
So prepare for disappointment.
Pretty much. Strap yourself in. It's going to be a ride.
I'm going to ask you another question because you answered to that Camelot one successfully. Would it have any RPG aspects to it?
Oh, no. They scrapped that.
The good thing is the more questions Lewis will ask you, the more potential points you can win.
Keep throwing them out. This is great.
Okay, okay. I was going to ask, will Waluigi speak a full sentence, but we probably wouldn't see that in the trailer.
Never.
All right. I've not answered myself yet. So this is a tricky one. I'm going to limit this to one game, and this is probably where I will stumble big time, which is Mario Maker 2. I'm not going to bet on any other Mario games. I don't know. I don't even think it would be this year, but I think they want to just say it's coming. So if I think early next year, so like Q1, January, February sort of thing.
It's interesting that you went with Mario Maker 2 as opposed
Yes,
to
I think the number 2 will be there.
because I was
I don't
assumed
think
if they did a Mario Maker 2, it'll be like the 3D Mario Maker. Um,
Are you probably thinking about maybe this would have like new features or new formats, like say, for instance, to include the Super Mario Brothers 2 theme?
I think it would be quite a bit different. So that's why I'm saying 2. As in, I think it would look quite a lot different, like in terms of the interface and stuff. Still be a lot of the tools will just be completely new. Some will just be revised. I don't think it's just be a matter of adding stuff to it. I think it's from the ground up.
So do you think that each like of the different styles or like the different types of Mario games, we each have their own physics this time around?
Possibly. I wouldn't confirm it, but again, I'm not sure it's something they would talk about here. But I think they'll have like a store built into this thing, so they can sell you themes and such. But just so it has like longevity. Well, I mean, the game did before, but I mean, just so it's the sort of game where you could add genuinely more content to it, and they could offer up a bunch of different things.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
Feeling too cheap because it'd be, oh, do you want this really obscure thing, or this other really obscure thing?
Throw some money at us, we'll give it to you. Yeah,
exactly, and they can judge by see what's popular or not. But yeah, Mario Maker 2 is my prediction there. Not naturally, that's Switch. So another fun one next.
Oh no.
Metroid.
I love Harris's reaction. Just like nose ends or.
Can I? This is not gonna happen. I want to say something. I want to say something about this, and I was responded about this when I mentioned about how after the direct, how like, okay, it's good that we got this information out of the way, so we don't have to deal with it during the spotlight. And then the response was, "Yeah, gotta get ready for the." I forgot it was a person responded to me. He's like, "Yeah, gotta get ready for the responses for Federation Force in HD." I'm like, and I responded back. I was being serious. I was like, and I meant this truthfully, like dead honest. I was like, you know what? I'd actually would double dip on that maybe. I mean, I had a fine experience with it. Despite how it was a game that really felt like was a lot better when you had friends. So, but geez, wow. This is the elephant in the room, and the one is essentially a white whale of sorts when it comes to like the one that I've been chasing. All of us have been chasing, just to be released.
You want to say Prime 4? I know you want to say Prime 4.
I want to say Prime 4. No, I do, but I want to say maybe I want to say not necessarily a reboot of the series, and it's hard to me think, is it because they go like traditionally 2D route? Would they go more the first person route, or would they probably try another stab at like third person with other M? But just I don't know. It's hard for me to gauge what this is going, because I truly do believe Nintendo wants to get these things right with this series and sort of just have a second renaissance with this. Like we've already seen something like this right now with Zelda, and not to say that has had its bad, like what we've seen with its 3D iterations, how people got tired. I feel like we may see another one with this, but as far as during this show, I'm sorry, I don't think we'll see Metroid. I really, really don't. I was about up a few weeks ago, I was thinking confident it was probably going to happen, but I don't think we will. I think, though, we may see more about it probably down the line when we get to more 2018 releases. I just don't see it, but no, I don't see it. I'm not going to let myself down for this one like I did the years past. I'm just not. No. So.
Okay. And you Colin?
Oh, well, seeing as how the Switch is like this platform for kind of like old franchises to come back, I think it's about time for Metroid to kick into high gear. I think we're going to see a 2D Metroid game, like old school 2D Metroid game, made by Next Level Games, potentially, on the Switch. Yeah, I think we'll see it. I don't think Metroid 4 is happening, or Prime 4. I know Metroid's been quiet for the past like 3 years, but I don't know. Something in my gut that says they're not working on Metroid Prime 4.
It's an enigma. It really is.
Okay, I guess it's down to me then.
Yeah.
This is one I'm really not sure about. I don't think it's going to happen, but because I do think there's a chance. But I mean, that's it really. I'm not confident in it. I think Nintendo knows, that it's clearly it's a fan favorite, and it would win them a lot of excitement and passion and so on. But I think they also know it commercially. It's not their safest move by any means.
Right.
Unfortunately, I'm going to go with the no Metroid. But it's going to go alongside another prediction later on. But I don't think there will be a dedicated new Metroid game, or even a spin-off announced at this E3. I think they're kind of retrenching, regrouping on this one still.
My bit of hope of why that we might see it in a year, or not a year, but sometime is, again, a person like Reggie is a bit of a hype man, which really isn't for when it comes to PR. But when he was quoted about begged about Animal Crossing, and I think, what did he talk about? I think it was Animal Crossing and and Metroid, and he asked her, it's like, talk to me in a year, and it's like, talk to me in a year.
That's right.
Yeah. So go off that.
We'll see.
Okay. And so the Metroid confidence comes from Colin this evening.
Mm-hmm.
Sponsored by Colin. Next up, Kirby. And
I didn't know the Switch was dying, so we have to send out the Kirby's.
Well, 3DS games are applicable. And the thing I wanted to mention this is we kind of know of a Kirby game we don't know anything about. The last Nintendo Direct, which wasn't an ARMS Direct or a Pokemon Direct, they had 3 Kirby games, and one of them was just Kirby Multiplayer Game 2017.
Yep.
I assume that will turn up, and so I assume that one doesn't count. It's just that was such a weird announcement, there's this other game coming, but we're not going to tell you a name or anything about it at this point. But it's this year.
I
It'll be here.
It might. I don't know. I kind of feel like that's going to have its own dedicated direct.
Oh, fair enough. All right, that's open. The fact there's uncertainty there, that as well is up for grabs, whether that will turn up. All right, let's start with Harrison. How many Kirby's will we see?
How many Kirby's? We're going to get a lot. Well, it is Kirby's 25th anniversary. I think we'll know more about that multiplayer Kirby game. I think that's what we're going to hear about.
Cool. Colin, how many Kirby's?
I'm going to say 0 Kirby's.
0 Kirby's.
0 Kirby's. Wow.
Yeah. Negative Kirby's.
No Kirby's for you. I reckon. I reckon we'll get the multiplayer Kirby game. I just think there's also a chance there might be something for the Switch. It doesn't necessarily need to be mainline.
Like Kirby's Bowl League or something?
There's been loads of spin-off Kirby games.
There have been, yeah.
All right, let me go with a... Actually, no, I'm not going to go with that. But I'll just go as far... I'll explain what I was going to do. I'm going to go as there's going to be a spin-off for the Switch.
Right.
And actually, that's all I'll commit to. That's enough for the Kirby section. The thing I was going to say is what would work quite well is the series where you would draw a line and Kirby would ride across it.
Oh, Canvas Curse?
Yeah, there's Canvas Curse on the DS, and there was one for the Wii U as well.
Yeah.
Can't remember its name. But obviously, because of the weird, you have a touchscreen, and portable, but not on console.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's not such a perfect fit. But I reckon, Year of the Kirby's and all, I reckon and get a spin-off game together for Switch. So, next up, we've got Donkey Kong. Will we see Donkey Kong, or will there be a new Donkey Kong game? And
I want to say no, but
remasters or deluxe editions of previous games.
we'll see it. Well, I think we'll see it in some shape or form, whether it's a Switch port or a new version. I feel like it's safe. Okay, I'll take that.
All right, so is that going to be what a country returns type thing?
I don't know.
All right, just more new games. So I say a yes. Yes from Harrison.
Yeah.
All right, how about you, Colin?
I just had a really interesting thought, and it goes back to the accessories. Because, they bring back Jungle Beat.
Ooh.
And you strap on to like Congo drums to the side of your Switch.
Oh, they snap onto the Switch.
Yeah.
That would be bizarre.
That would be bizarre and not entirely safe, but
No,
you could do it. You could technically get away with it.
And so I assume if you're playing on the TV, you can snap them onto a, as it were.
Just like a rip.
Yeah. I'm sure they can get that working.
This isn't going to. This is completely. It is a completely nonsensical prediction, but yeah, sure, whatever.
You can write that in there.
Yeah, go on.
Bongos.
If I get this right, I win by default.
What is it? Okay, go. What is it?
You said that there will be a bongo.
Bongo. Okay, I thought you had something else. Sorry, I was like, okay.
No.
So, that's a yes as well. I'm assuming you will think there's also a Donkey Kong game to go with the DK bongos of some sort.
A sequel to Jungle Beat.
All right, cool. So that does overlap the accessories one, so that's fine. Okay, I think Donkey Kong Country Returns has done quite well for Nintendo. Or the Wii one specifically did very well.
Mm-hmm.
I think the remaster on the 3DS did quite well as well. The Wii one did all right.
It was on Wii U, so
but it was also on Wii U.
It did as well as it could have, I think.
Wait, are you saying Donkey Kong Country did well? Okay, you're saying as far as sales?
Oh no. I'm playing it down.
Cool.
I'm saying they did very well.
Okay.
I'm leading up to it is a series I could very well see them continue on that front, but I don't think it's what Retro's been up to. So the question is whether someone else has been making Donkey Kong Country Returns #3, and I'm not entirely sure that would be the case. Was it Monster Games who ported Tropical Freeze?
No idea.
The name rings a bell. Wondering if the people who did port Tropical Freeze could be tasked to make a new one. That's still quite a leap, though. So I'm going to say no new Donkey Kongs this year. You got to hear my thought process.
Or Donkey Kong.
All right. Next up, we've got Animal Crossing.
Sure, why not?
Go.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Why not?
Yes. Cool. And that's for Switch.
Oh, for Switch. Ooh,
New Switch game?
Switch, obviously.
Ooh. Colin?
No, just no.
Just a no.
Maybe.
Whoa,
maybe.
Whoa.
We might get it like a. I don't know if that fits into the.
You're gonna say Amiibo Fest. You're gonna say Amiibo Festival again, aren't you?
Oh heck no! No, I don't want that. No.
DX.
That's no. DX. No. Deluxe version of that. I was thinking of the mobile game actually. They might tease for information about the mobile game, but I don't know if that quite fits for E3. I think that's more like a separate direct thing. So I'm going to stick with no.
We put that in. I accidentally deleted Yoshi for that as well. Rather than back. So I am going to say yes. Also the smartphone app.
Okay.
But I think definitely a new console entry. So a Switch entry now for Animal Crossing. If I'm going to add something extra to it, I would say for the first time ever, on the same system, 2 people can run around a little village.
Yeah, I can see it.
But yeah.
Would you still be mayor?
Would you still be
The mayor.
the mayor? Oh, no, I don't reckon you would be mayor anymore. I reckon you might have the same mayor powers or something, but I don't reckon you'll actually be a mayor anymore.
The mayor
I reckon you'll
powers.
be a mayor. As in, like, changing the ordinance and such. Like,
Yeah.
you might still be able to change your ordinance by, like, speaking to the mayor or, by just deciding to. I don't know. But, no, I reckon he'll come up with another little twist to it.
Mm.
And, like, the mayor thing was just New Leaf's thing.
Okay.
When I add to the notes, let's ask about Yoshi. Any new Yoshi games coming, Harrison?
Does releasing the actual virtual console, like SNES version of Yoshi's Island, count?
No. Although I'd be surprised for you to say yes on that when saying no to the virtual console as a whole.
Well, yeah, that does contradict what I'm doing. No on Yoshi.
Although, to be fair, in terms of betting, it's good to cover your bases. So.
They've done it well.
No on Yoshi. No on Yoshi.
Okay. And Colin.
I agree. No on Yoshi.
No Yoshi?
No Yoshi.
No.
Nope.
Not even one's made out of wool.
No, gone.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm going to join you on the ends. Not yet. His time will come. But it's not this time.
Kill him off.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's for a different show, I guess. Retro Studio. So this is slightly different. So this is not a game announcement in itself. Do we think we will see what Retro Studio's current game is? That's how I'm going to phrase it.
I'm gonna say yes.
We find out what they're working on.
The time is now. They ended development on Tropical Freeze. Was it 2014?
It was. Yep.
2014.
Yeah.
So early 2014.
A solid 3 years gap.
So yeah.
Okay, and I will be asking for some details on this one. Doesn't have to be crazy specific, but what do you reckon roughly they'd be doing? Like, you can just pick a franchise, or you can just say like new IP if you think it's that sort of thing.
I just to see the world and the internet burn, I did want to say Donkey Kong, but
The internet burn.
it's gonna be some Nintendo IP that we haven't heard of, or it could be something ultimately new. And
Well, you did say yes for the new Donkey Kong, so you could pair the two up.
I could, but I have no clue what it could be. That's one thing. I'm being vague about it. I don't know what it's gonna be.
All right, so can I at least get this much out of you? Do you reckon it will either be an existing Nintendo franchise or a new IP? One or the other?
I'm gonna say new IP. I feel like Nintendo's been. I feel like now. I mean, Nintendo's hit it pretty well with like their multiplayer focused new IPs. And I feel like, you know what? I think it's time to see something new.
Something new from Retro. Okay. How about you, Colin?
I do think Retro is going to show up, and I think they're going to shock people because they're going to be like, "Oh, Retro's here, Metroid," but no, it's going to be F-Zero. They're going to bust out an F-Zero game.
Well, I like that response.
Yeah.
And part of me wants to say no, knowing that we have fast RMX and all these. Like, again, I had questioned about F-Zero being in this world right now because I'm trying to think like what else can that series do that's new.
But in the hands of Retro, it could. I mean,
it could be an open world city.
Imagine how cool that'd be. That'd be awesome.
Because I'm sure if Retro got their hands on a game like that, they would definitely, like they did with Metroid Prime,
change it up.
Totally their own spin on what that franchise is.
Definitely. Yeah.
All right. I guess for myself, now this is one which I'm going to stick to. It's one I've talked about before. So I reckon Retro is doing a new IP, and it's going to play somewhat like a Tomb Raider game.
Okay.
And that's my prediction. So some sort of adventurer.
So something more darker
with guns as well.
So Uncharted.
Yes. Well, I said a Tomb Raider came first.
True. Technically true. It's the way you described it, like adventure game with guns.
Exactly, and that I don't know how Uncharted managed to steal that away from Tomb Raider. I guess just by making great quality games. But that is the Tomb Raider template.
Tomb Raider's less shooty. Uncharted's very
there's
shooty.
still a lot of shooting in it. It's mostly like animal cruelty, but there's still lots of shooting in it.
You are right, yeah. Does shooting a T-Rex count as animal cruelty?
The T-Rex not so much, but all the
I was going to say that's
like the wolves and the
everything else.
The bears.
All right.
Anyway, so yes from me. Let's just say Tomb Raider, just so we know what we're talking about, but obviously not that.
Retro Tomb Raider.
So next up, Xenoblade 2. When this was announced, it was announced as a 2017 game. And this is purely for the E3 stuff. Will they change the date to something beyond 2017, or are they sticking to their guns, even if it's just for now? Because that's all this bet's for, as it were. So will we hear of a delay? So will they have a trailer and it shows 2018 at the end?
The reason I want to say against a delay is, word is that I forgot where I read it from, that recording for the composition is already complete, and plus going back from after the Japanese release back in of X back in April 2015. So I'm gonna say no in a delay. No. I feel like they will keep it. I feel like it'd be a cop out for me saying we'll get the Japanese release in December and then American and Europe later on. But
it'd be a cop out, but I think it'd be very accurate.
Yeah, but Nintendo, I think Nintendo's really wanting to get more on worldwide releases. So I'm going to say, and I'm probably gonna be wrong about this one, but I feel my gut says it's still on track for 2017.
Okay. Sounds good. And Colin, what do you reckon?
I don't think that game's got a chance of coming out in 2017. I don't know. To me, it's just feeling of like the footage we saw during the Switch reveal. I mean, it wasn't really running that smooth. I think no, but the size of these games, I just kind of feel like there's still a lot of work to be done on it. So 2018.
All right,
definitely.
And just to confirm, will we hear that fact during E3?
Yes.
Okay. Now this is a tricky one for. Well, I think it's because I do think it has been delayed, and they know that. I'm not sure they're going to think this is the right time to tell people, but I also think it has been delayed, or it won't be coming out for so much time that they can honestly, near the end of the year, go, whoops, actually, it will be, or a month, post a month's time.
Yeah.
But then again, they often get away with saying, oh, actually, it's slipped into 2018.
Yeah.
And then we don't hear about it for ages.
How did they get away with it with X on the Wii U?
Because they had a date.
Wait, as far as the delay, the reason why they did that is like, right after Wii U sales started to tank, like go off a cliff.
Yeah,
they obviously panicked and they're like, we got to announce all this stuff real quickly just to kind of put some faith into the console. Which, no, I really do believe after that, after the Wii U actually started to slide down in early 2013 after those sales, like after those Christmas sales, I think that was right at the point where it's like, all right, we got to focus on Plan B and just tread water here for the next couple of years and decide what's next.
Yeah, pretty much.
With perfect switch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, ironically, after going through this, I don't think they will actually announce any delay. Like, the dates, they will stick to the 2017 date for now. So, what all I'll commit to is that they're not going to give any more details about the dates. They're not going to say it comes out this quarter or this month for any region during E3. They will stick to little 2017. And then it kind of some point after E3 it falls outside our betting anyway, but I think then they will be delaying it to at least some point 2018, where it's early or middle or late. But yeah, I can say no. They're going to be sticking to their guns for now after all that. There we go. So into our next, I guess, slightly bigger section here. So games beyond the series we've talked about. Do we think there'll be any new announcements?
I think we'll find out more about Project Octopath Traveler.
Yes.
That one from
Okay.
Square. Oh, of course, we forgot to name the obvious. I mean, yeah, we're going to see more about Mario Odyssey, more about Fire Emblem Warriors. Expect new character reveal. So there's a given. I'm trying to bet whether or not I want to say okay. I just mentioned Project Octopath Traveler, but as a game we know whether or not this is just gonna be dedicated just to Nintendo's exclusive stuff, or if we're gonna see other third parties. That's what I'm trying to decide whether or not we're seeing there. Because we still have Skyrim coming out. We don't know whether it's a special edition or not, or if it's
if Skyrim is like the standard edition, that's a tough sell because that game is 6 years old.
Yeah, you need to. Yeah, I don't know. That's really as far as I can get onto it, and I'm just focusing more on 2017 stuff. To me,
Yeah. So, do you think beyond just updates to what we know about any games, any new games announced in any known series, whether they're first party or third party?
I'm gonna say, you know what? Maybe we'll hear more from Suda about the
No worries.
Yes.
There we go.
That would count.
That'd be awesome.
There we go. I think we'll hear more. I think we'll get peace, and maybe we'll see something from Platinum. There we go.
And a Platinum game.
Yeah. It's not going to be Bayonetta 3. It won't be. No.
Yeah, definitely Platinum. I think Platinum's going to tune in with something. I also think Square Enix is actually going to finally announce that the Final Fantasy VII remake is coming to the Switch.
Okay.
Mainly because of the whole Cloud and Smash business.
I was going to say also maybe the recent Final Fantasy VII remake news, where they've taken it from an external studio and brought the development in-house. Maybe because that's happened, they can. If a Switch version wasn't happening, now would be the time to make that, have another chance to make that decision. All right, we're doing this in-house now.
Yeah.
Let's make sure the platforms it's coming out are the ones we want to settle with, sort of thing, and they can make that decision again.
Yeah. I also think we'll hear something about Skyrim, and I'm going to go on a limb and say it as exclusive content, purely for the Switch version.
Okay, that exclusive content for Skyrim.
Well, you know,
is it Nintendo themed exclusive content?
I imagine so. I mean, they have to do something to it that's going to sell people who have previously purchased it.
Yeah.
Because pretty much everybody's played Skyrim. You know, it's like one of the most popular RPGs ever.
So maybe some Zelda themed stuff in there. Maybe you can find Epona.
If you can find Epona and like the Master Sword in Skyrim, that might just be enough to.
Oh, they could do that actually. Yeah.
And, you know, exclusive content. It could be anything, but
yeah,
you know. But yeah, I think for like other stuff, I think that's about it for me.
Okay. I guess for myself now, sort of the questions I probably should have thought about before, but probably best I didn't. I reckon Bayonetta 2 gets announced to the Switch.
But not the first.
I'm not ruling out 3 or not.
Okay.
But because Nintendo owns it.
Yeah, technically, yeah.
Well, they call it, but Sega still has some ownership over the Bayonetta character.
Oh, no, true. But I mean, in terms of the game Bayonetta 2, I believe, and again, I'm not looking for any paperwork, but I believe Nintendo has the rights to that game. And so I think even with their own, if they wanted to, I'm not sure this is what they would do, but they could just take their own development team and port Bayonetta 2 to any of their system, or any system really. I think that deal's been done at this point now. Like Sega would get a cut, whatever that is, but I think they can do what they want with that game within reason. That again, that's me again guessing. But yeah, I reckon they will use that strength though. Put Bayonetta 2 on the Switch, and maybe they might tease 3 or something like that without even showing it. But I reckon that's something they might do, because a lot of people like Bayonetta. A lot of people didn't have Wii U's. There we go. That's a good place to start. Maybe one comes with it. I'm not committing to that.
Yeah, I don't think they'll do that again.
Yeah.
Honestly. Yeah.
They could, but yeah, I'm not committing to that now. I do really like Colin's Nintendo exclusive stuff in Skyrim. I'll let you keep that though. But
that's very kind of
thinking, having a pona in the game, Master Sword, those bits. It's such a simple thing to do. It kind of reminds me of the Soul Calibur stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But it would really help that game. It would really help the partnership with Bethesda and Nintendo. I would actually like to see that happen. It's silly little things like that, but that would swing me on that game.
Yeah.
And it only proves just how, like, I'm not sure the term for it really, but just how ravenous Nintendo fans are for Nintendo stuff.
Anything. Yeah, no, yeah. That's why Minecraft.
Specifically for those Nintendo things, though.
Yeah.
They're obviously still not for Minecraft. I'm curious about Minecraft, but it's not for me yet.
Yeah.
Next thing, let's go out there. I think, I reckon we'll see a big Square Enix game get announced for the Switch.
Okay.
So the options we've got Final Fantasy 15, we've got Kingdom Hearts 3.
They recently announced that Lost Sphere.
True.
I believe it's called.
What's that called?
I'm thinking on the big ones. Obviously, we know Dragon Quest is coming to the Switch.
Yep.
And I technically Final Fantasy 14. I'm not sure if Sony necessarily has an exclusive on that in terms of consoles.
Not sure.
But that might be an easier game to port. I'm going to go down the 15 route.
Oh, okay.
There's a version of 15 coming. It probably won't be coming out this year. But yeah, I think we'll see a trailer. It will be like maybe I don't know if it's called Deluxe or not, but some sort of special edition. It includes the DLC, which was available. And let's try and get one more third-party prediction in there. Actually, no, I'm not going to go third-party one. I'm going to go with a first-party one.
Okay.
This one over here. I'm not sure you can see it.
Right.
Might. Okay, I think Colin can.
I can see it.
Kid Icarus has a new game. It's going to be shown this year. That's my.
Will Sakurai have a hand in it?
Will he have a hand in it? Asking the big questions. Hand, yes.
Okay.
I'm not sure as much of a hand as the previous one, but yes, saying that, I reckon it'll probably name dropped or something, or it will have some sort of. We'll find out later. Some sort of. I'm not sure advisory, but it's consultancy role in it, maybe perhaps.
Yeah.
But yeah, like in the vein of that game of Uprising, but it could just be like just the ground segments or just the flying segments or something. But it's inspired of that game more so than the originals. And next up, we've got stuff for 3DS. Do we reckon any new 3DS games will be announced?
Besides the ones that I've mentioned, no, I think it's going to be very light on the 3DS stuff. I mean, the momentum right now is for the Switch. I think they want to keep it going. So, yeah, I definitely feel like they're going to keep pushing that as far as they can.
Okay. And Harrison?
3DS wise, I honestly have no clue. I feel like they got most of like what they did that last direct, but You know what? I'm gonna go back on my Zelda thing and say, like, did I mention that it might get a?
You said a no before, but you can say Zelda 3DS here.
I can say Zelda 3DS. I'll say Zelda 3DS in some form.
Zelda 3DS. Okay. Sorry, Con. What did you say? No for X?
I said it'd be very light on the 3DS stuff. So pretty much, yeah, no.
Okay, apart from the ones above. What I'm going to say for the 3DS, another Mario Party game is coming to the 3DS.
Another one?
Another
Three
one.
on one system?
3 on one system. It wouldn't be a record.
No, it wouldn't. But for a handheld system, it would.
True.
That's crazy.
Only by one though.
Is it by one?
I think the Game Boy Advance had at least 2 of them.
Did? I don't think it did.
Oh, maybe it didn't. Maybe I made that up. It had an e-reader Mario Party. I know that much. And I think it might have had a non-e-reader one.
Possibly.
All right, we're up to our final super specific prediction segment.
Oh, geez.
Do any of us have a super specific prediction to give?
I do.
People will be disappointed in some fashion.
Oh, that's a guarantee. I mean, if you want to win the game, you can go straight with that. I'm gonna say,
and just like you can just go more in depth of something we've covered here. So if you said yes to a Zelda game, you can go more in depth to your Zelda game here.
I was gonna actually, before recording, I was gonna have a list of, basically, since I said like how this is possibly 30 minutes. I was gonna do like a minute by minute breakdown of what's gonna happen. But obviously, I ran out of time. It was gonna be something like, too much time is spent on this game. Oh, here's a developer info here. A game that we really didn't care about is being talked about here. Some weird indie stuff is gonna be indies. You know what? We may see some indies. There's some little bit specifics on there, but if there is really specific, I will say that they're going to talk a lot about Mario Odyssey. I really feel like that's going to open up.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to talk a lot about that.
Yeah.
So
you're going to have to go in more details for me. If you want to go all into Mario here, you're going to have to give me some details of Mario Odyssey we don't know about yet to lock this one in.
Mm-hmm.
So anything of in Mario Odyssey which we don't know of yet, which you can call out for us now? Any new abilities or enemies or worlds or features?
Features-wise, we'll probably get Amiibos announced. There we go for Mario.
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's a good shout.
So that's my Amiibo. That's my Amiibo prediction there. So
Okay.
for that, we'll see more to it, and it's gonna create the same type of waiting in lines to play like we saw with Zelda last year. But this time, there's more games to be had.
Okay, I'm going to have to ask at least one more question here to make it count for a super specific prediction. So what would the Amiibos do in Odyssey? What functionality would they have? Then I'll let you off.
Me? Oh, what? You're letting me. I know. I'm like clicking away.
This is an interrogation on Harrison.
What
What
am I gonna do now?
A Mario game, we just have Amiibo support.
They like specifically what those are going to do. Okay, there'll be some of the boss characters. It'll be Bowser in his little white tuxedo. That'll be good. What they'll do, I'm drawing a blank. I really can't.
I have an interesting idea for what they could do.
Help them out.
They give Mario different hats that have different properties.
That good of you, Harrison?
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
There we go. We've got your prediction locked in. Mario Odyssey have Amiibo support, including the Bowser and the Tux, and they give you Mario different hats. Locked
There you
in.
go.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a super specific prediction.
The best thing I'm looking for of mine, to Colin, go as long as you want with yours.
Mine's going to be pretty short. I think they're going to open up with the Retro Studios F-Zero game I was talking about earlier.
Alright.
They're going to detail that the game has a full featured story mode, potentially open world racer, kind of like Burnout Paradise, but F-Zero style. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Okay. That ticks all the boxes. You even said where in the show it will be announced.
It's going to be completely wrong, but hey.
Am I getting none of it right? There might just be no F-Zero. Well, you would have thought. So it's actually, I'm surprised. I mean, I didn't even list. So just a quick check, quick run round. Will there be any Smash Bros? I mean, Deluxe has been rumored already for it, so
yeah.
That is one thing I forgot about.
I was going to quickly go in and say yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's safe to say yes, I think. But
so
again,
basically, what we're expecting it's the Wii U 3DS hybrid.
Yes,
Deluxe
with
game.
all the characters and
Yes. You're both saying yes?
Yep.
Okay. I actually say no to that one.
No.
Yeah, like that.
Okay.
Cool. Unfortunately, that didn't buy me the time I wanted. All right. So what I'll do instead, I'll to save time, I'll jump into more of this retro adventure game, the Uncharted game.
Oh, yeah, the Tomb Raider / Uncharted.
Yeah. And so to go alongside that, it's going to be a female lead. So there you go. It's a little bit more like Tomb Raider. So it's a.
I'm already seeing the think pieces about this, about how it's just going to be a ripoff.
Yeah, pretty much.
Exactly. There we go. That can go alongside it. So it's going to be an Uncharted-like game with a female lead character.
That's Tomb Raider.
Yeah, you were.
See?
Yes.
They are similar, aren't they?
I never said they weren't.
Anyway, it will have local as well as online co-op, as well as an obligatory like sort of versus shootout type mode.
Okay.
But its main thing will be a very Uncharted-like story mode. It's going to be very cinematic. I think they're directly going to be going after kind of like Naughty Dog tech in doing like close-up shots of like semi-realistic characters pulling off like a realistic conversation and emoting to each other. So something quite out of their wheelhouse. But that's going to be the road they go down. And to add more to this, I think the main character, not the main character, the main weapon is going to be a crossbow. There we go. That's my super specific prediction. That's the Retro Studios new game, which I'm quite looking forward to. Doesn't come out this year though. It's a shame. But that finalizes our predictions. Colin seems quite amazed.
Keep going.
Keep going. All right. There's gonna be a lot of snowy environments in the game.
Just Tomb Raider.
That's
It's just Tomb Raider.
No, you said that was retro. It's not
The whole game you just
Does
described.
this person have a British accent?
Oh.
No,
There you go.
it's not a British lead. Oddly, the main characters aren't American; they are Japanese,
Okay.
All right.
which I thought was bizarre. Any other questions?
I thought you were going to say Canadian, so there you go.
No, it's a female Japanese main character in some sort of icy environment with a crossbow.
Okay.
We agree.
Anybody watch this? Yeah, this is Tomb Raider.
It's about a person who got lost on Mount Fuji by the sounds of a crossbow.
Actually, I'll go as far as I mean, it would make sense with a Japanese character, but it is also actually set in Japan.
Okay.
Anyway, that's going to be my prediction, super prediction. So we do have the bonus round, and of course, but for that, I will hand you over to the specialized. Anyway, well, to the specialties, the specialized hands. Oh, I'm messing this up. But for the bonus round, I do bring you Harrison.
For the first time in a while. Yeah. So we last week we asked you what your E3 predictions for Nintendo were going to be this year, and most of you, all of you, well, not most of you. That'd be very rude for me to say. All of you did not disappoint. Now, our first response comes from Gentis via Twitter. For my submission to your show, I'm going to use the Box Biology as featured on Infinito Radio Podcast. I'm quite proud of that one, and he's referencing as the Box Boy Trilogy. So,
Yeah.
I do like the name.
Yeah, and I think that's not included in this snippet, but this also includes the Amiibo, which we haven't got physical edition.
Well, next answer. Dan Entwistle from via Twitter. He has a list of predictions. GameCube Virtual Console. Metroid Switch announced. New Zelda for 3DS, which I bought.
Mm-hmm.
Bayonetta 2 Switch port, which Lewis had mentioned. Mario Odyssey delayed to 2018.
Oh.
That's bold.
Oh, yeah, that's bold.
Yeah. Oh.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm gonna play conspiracy theorist here. They have the Pokemon game for that time, so they're not in the red, so they can cover themselves for the that would be. I don't think it is. I still think that's coming. And his last one, Smash for Switch. So pretty obvious we could do that one. Next answer comes from Daniel Fugate. Sorry if I butchered that. Lots of Switch games, including an in-depth look at the new Mario game, plus some 3DS games, such as the new Kirby Action Fighter game. Talked about that as well on the show, too. So we could tease that. Next one from Auntie Wickland. Pikmin 4, Animal Crossing, and Smash Switch port. And I really think we'll be seeing what Retro has been working on all these years. We did forget about Pikmin. That was one thing we didn't really...
Yeah, Pikmin.
We didn't. Do we want to add any Pikmin things? Let's do a quick one since we mentioned it. Yes or no, is Pikmin. Harrison?
Yeah, why not? Sure.
Yep. Go on.
It exists, but no.
I'll say the no as well. I'll add these in.
All right. Next answer comes from Miguel Rodriguez from via Twitter. The Zelda 2D prototype will release either on the 3DS or Switch or both. Ooh. I think he's referring to the Breath of the Wild prototype.
Mm.
Yes.
All right. We have Slick L via Twitter. I think we're going to get a Smash port, which I don't want since, well, that's another $60. Well, I understand the pain, but
I think Smash is worth the double dip.
Yeah, I mean,
potential triple dip.
Potentially, yes, very potentially.
Well, yeah. No, I would definitely pick that one up. But we have a final answer. Actually, no, I believe we have one more answer through the Twitters. Could somebody check on that? I could have swore I saw it on there.
Oh.
Yeah, but this next answer comes from Dan Gaskin via Twitter with Metroid for both 3DS and Switch, and GameCube-style Joy-Cons for Nintendo VC for Virtual Console. Ooh. That could be that'd be a nice little double point.
So I didn't consider the you could have different Joy-Cons in like the old gamepad styles. That'd be cool. I love a GameCube style Joy-Cons.
Where is that? I know. I do think we have one last question on here. Sorry, I'm delaying on this one. Here we go. I swear I saw it right here. The last question. It was a friend of the show. Here we go. Oh no, from Malik Emrys from Rosio Death. He says Amiibo, and Amiibo.
Amiibo, it guarantees Amiibo's going to get a mention somewhere. Yeah, it's guaranteed.
So we're going to get all that. Where is that? I think that is it. Yeah. So that is it for the bonus round. And I'm going to hand it over to, since he put together the notes and he did a really good job doing it, I'm going to hand it over to Lewis and picking the best answer.
Oh, isn't that nice? Seeing as it's just been me and Con for a while, I've been doing all the answers. However, I do have one prepared. Miguel Rodriguez.
Ooh.
With his Breath of the Wild 2D prototype turned into game.
Yep.
I think that would be pretty awesome. It's also something which I've not really heard anyone else really mention, and that makes it a good answer for this sort of thing.
Yep.
And yeah, that'd be cool. Whether it was 3DS or Switch, that'd be a great thing. And it's even if it's like, because I know a lot of people have been talking about a game like that as if it was a Zelda Maker. But even if that wasn't the case, and it was just, it's essentially, the Breath of the Wild map somehow in like, a 2D top-down adventure, that would be really cool to play. Because it would just be a very different game. It would be cool to get that perspective on it. So, Miguel Rodriguez, you are our winner for the bonus round this week. And you get the Twisted Fusion goodie bag, which, unfortunately, I think it's going to be retiring soon. I think when we get the triple digits, I think we'll do something a little different.
Bum, bum, bum.
Exactly. So that goodie bag will be on its way to you, and actually have a bonus round question for next time. And the reason being is because we've got E3, in a week's time, and that's kind of when our next show will come out.
Yeah. We're recording broadcasting our show live, like 6 to 7 hours after the show, so there's a very narrow gap between the actual E3 Direct itself and then us going on. So not enough time to ask you what you thought about the Direct, really, or the conference as a whole.
Yeah, and so we won't have a bonus round. What we may have is a bit of my free time, and so I've got some time off for E3, so I'm going to hopefully do something beyond the podcast next week for Nintendo Voice.
He's secretly flying out to E3. He's gonna.
No, unfortunately not. It won't be on site. It will be at home type thing. So I'm not sure. I'm thinking of a few things. I might do a for a lack of a better word, a reactions type thing, just like leave the mic running as it goes on, and I'll like commentate on it opposed to just because I'm not really like a screaming type guy. But that might be interesting. Or it might just be like just like immediate thoughts after the fact but in a non-podcast format. But look out for that. I plan to do something at least for E3 because E3's pretty crazy time for gaming and something I personally look forward to each year. However, we have come to that point, the end of this show. So let's go through our usual routine and let's get out our contact details or anything we would like to plug it, which is going on. And Harrison.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you can reach me at Twitter at hmilfeld, and if you need to find me on Switch, I have my profile pinned to the top of my profile. I have my Switch profile pinned to the top of my Twitter page profile, so you can get it there. And I don't know why I keep saying it, but my Nintendo Network ID is Hybrid Meta, so feel free to add me there if you still feel like it.
Excellent. And Colin, how about you?
I was going to throw up my Twitter because why not? So my Twitter is at @HighlyEmbarred, which I'm going to keep saying it until the day I die, but it's how you think it's spelled. That's about it, really. I haven't been working on anything. Just I would be intrigued though about the whole. If we do what we've been playing, if we do stuff outside Nintendo, would people be interested? I'll be interested about that. So.
Yeah, I'd be interested about it too. So yeah, let us know. Just as a general rule, as it were. Are you open to that sort of thing? And it's like we're looking for honest opinions here. So if you're not, let us know. If you are, do let us know. It would be cool. And I guess in addition to that, any feedback you've got for us, and we often do kind of try and funnel you down the review route. But also, please do just let us know. Just contact us via email, which is hello@nintendovoice.com, or on Twitter @NintendoVoice.
Or even just comment on the video.
And we'll comment on the video as well. There's lots of avenues now. Just let us know what you like, what you don't like, or just if you've got suggestions as well. For myself, you want to contact me, the best way is probably on Twitter, which is @Luvsion, LUVSION. And the thing I want to plug is this kind of the show itself. So it's just kind of a reminder, because I didn't do this at the start of the show, we do have this show audio only on podcast. We also have it now on YouTube. It's also recorded live, if you weren't aware. So you can check it out there. And we have been doing the same successfully now for a few weeks running. And so that seems to be where it's sticking. And so to check out what that is in your local time, simply go to youtube.com/Nintendo Voice, and you can check out when the next scheduled video is. And I'll make sure that's up at the end of this show as well. And you have a countdown. You can set a reminder. Obviously, if you subscribe as well, it will just let you know at the time. But obviously, the reminder is nice to know if it would be a time you'll be able to watch it anyway. But that's kind of the thing I wanted to plug is the YouTube channel. Please do check it out if you haven't already. It's youtube.com/Nintendo Voice. Please do subscribe. Please do watch the videos. Simple as that. And obviously, if you like them, if you tell a friend, it would be very useful. We are trying to build this up and do more things with it. So that would be very cool. And that's the thought I'm going to leave you with. So thanks once again for listening and for watching. And this has been the Nintendo Voice.
Goodbye, everybody.
Yeah, take care, everyone.
Goodbye.